You know that feeling, right? You're constantly busy, you're always moving, but at the end of the day, you feel like you haven't gotten any closer to your real goals. It is so frustrating, it's exhausting, and today, we're gonna solve it. I mean, does your day sometimes feel just like this? Like you are a hamster on a wheel, just spinning and spinning, putting in all this energy and motion, but you're not actually making any real progress? If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone.
Well, there's actually a name for this feeling. It's called the tactical trap. And it's what happens when all of your actions are full of motion, but they have absolutely no direction. So let's break down what that really means. So, what is this trap? It's that state of constant motion without any forward direction. It's being incredibly busy, putting out fires, solving today's problems, just reacting to whatever life throws at you, all without a map for where you're actually trying to go.
See, this trap is fueled by something called tactical thinking. Now, don't get me wrong, tactics are absolutely essential. They're the immediate things you do just to get through the day. But relying on tactics alone, that's like flooring the gas pedal in your car without a map. You're going to burn a whole lot of fuel, but you won't end up anywhere meaningful.
And you see this trap show up everywhere. At the office, you're the firefighter, right? Always busy, but you never actually fix the systems that cause the fires in the first place. With your money, it's the quick fix, slopping an emergency on a credit card instead of building a real emergency fund. And with your health, it's the crash diet that gets you fast results but doesn't build habits that actually last. Sound familiar?
Okay, so how do we escape this trap? We do it by understanding the huge difference between tactics and strategy. And honestly, the best way to think about this is through a military lens, the general versus the soldier. This, right here, is the core difference. See, tactical thinking is all about winning the immediate battle in front of you. But strategic thinking, that's about winning the entire war. The soldier on the ground is making the tactical moves, but it's the general who created the strategic plan. It's the huge difference between just simple motion and real, meaningful direction. So let's really lock this in. Tactical thinking is all about the immediate. It's reactive. It's the skill set you need to deal with whatever is right in your face. And its number one question is always, what can I do right now? But strategic thinking, that's the complete flip side. It's proactive. It's the long-term map that gives every single action you take a purpose. It completely shifts the question from what can I do now to what should I do now to get where I want to be tomorrow. And that one little shift, well, it changes absolutely everything. Here's a perfect way to think about it. Imagine a game of chess. Every single move you make with a piece, that's a tactic. But if those moves aren't guided by an overall plan to control the board and trap the king, well, they're just random. You might win a pawn here or there, but you are going to lose the game. Your strategy is your plan for checkmate.
Okay, so this brings us to a super crucial point. This is not about choosing one over the other. Real success, real greatness, it doesn't come from just being a strategist or just being a tactician. It comes from making them work together in perfect harmony.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? If you have only tactics, your life is just chaos, a bunch of disconnected actions. But if you have only strategy, all you've got is a beautiful dream with absolutely no way to make it real. You have to have both.
Here's another really powerful way to picture this. Think about a symphony orchestra. The strategy is the composer, the one who crafts the grand vision for the entire piece of music. The tactics, well, that's the individual musicians, each one playing their part perfectly to bring that vision to life. And the process is so clear. First, the composer, that's your strategy, sets the vision. Then the musicians, those are your tactics, execute that vision precisely. And when those two things are perfectly aligned, you don't just get random noise, you get a masterpiece. This is how you create success in literally any area of your life. So, this brings us to the most important part of all. How do you actually apply this? How do you become the composer, the general, the strategist of your own life? Because look, understanding this stuff is one thing, but the real power, that comes from actually putting it into practice. So how do you turn this big idea into a concrete tool for your own life? Well, it comes down to a really simple but powerful framework. It's just a simple 4-step process. First, define your strategy. Actually write down your vision for where you want to be in 5 or 10 years. Second, break that big vision down into smaller key milestones. Third, choose your daily tactics, the small, repeatable actions that are going to move you toward those milestones. And finally, and this is key, regularly review and adjust.
Make sure your tactics are always serving your strategy.
When you do this, you stop being that person who is just busy. You get off the hamster wheel, you become intentional, you become focused, and you become truly unstoppable because every single action you take finally has a purpose.
So, I'll leave you with one powerful question to ask yourself every single day. Are my tactics serving my strategy? If the answer is yes, you're not just winning today's little battles, you are on your way to winning your war.